action.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 2 Cents with me and Tori. If you are new and this is the first time you're seeing one of these episodes, I'll just explain it really quick before we jump in. But basically, this is a 2 Cents series where we read our followers, subscribers, and friends' stories. There's an email address on the screen below with some instructions. But basically, we have you guys write in any situation that you're currently going through or went through in the past that you want our advice on or our opinion on. All that we ask is that you use fake names because we like to keep everyone in the story as well as the person writing in anonymous, and you are welcome to share as much or as little as you want. This is a safe space, there's no judgment, and it's kind of just like a girl chat situation. It's like for the girls, the gays, and the days.
I was literally laughing because you were like, put a fake name on. But even if it's like a name, I always change the name. But what if I change it to the person's real name?
I know, right?
I literally always change it.
Do you change it?
I change it every time.
Stop, I read it verbatim. Well,
I always change it because like, what if it's their real
please
name?
change
They
the
didn't
name.
know.
Yeah, that's true.
But then what if I change it and it's like their real name?
I mean, we did all we could do, honestly. But the instructions and everything is in the description box and on the screen. So write in anything you're comfortable sharing and we'd be happy to read it and give you our advice. Another thing that we do here in the series is we start off the series just kind of updating y'all on our lives and talking about pop culture and anything going on in the media. So that's just like a little gossip girl chat portion. So if you don't want to see that part or you're not familiar with like media drama and stuff like that, I do put timestamps in the description box. So if you don't want to watch this part or there's specific stories that catch your eye, because I do put the titles with the timestamps as well, you can go straight to the part that you want to watch. Without further ado, let's give them our 2 cents, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm freaking sweating, so.
Why are you sweating? Is your wrong?
I don't know, maybe it's because Chris Breezy's on my chest.
Because Christian's like, yo, chatties.
He makes me so hot. So let me do a disclaimer before we jump into the drama and the tea.
Okay.
Because I've done vlogs, but maybe if people watching don't watch the vlogs and just watch the 2 cents, or this is the first video ever that you're seeing of mine, I just have to put this disclaimer. I just got my braces as well as other orthodontics in my mouth. I have bite blocks, I have this like all this metal stuff, and if you don't watch the vlogs you have no clue and you're just like, she wasn't talking like this the last episode, like I'm confused. So sorry that my speech is a little different now.
Don't apologize.
I feel bad, but Tori, when we get into the stories, I'm having her read all the entries. I will give my opinion in 2 cents and stuff and like gossip, but I'm gonna have her read them because it's just harder for me to talk now, you know?
That's fair. That's fair. I literally thought you were about to give a disclaimer about why Chris Brown's on your titties.
Oh, disclaimer not needed.
I thought you were about to give like a whole backstory about how you are a Chris stan and all of this.
No, I have no need to explain myself.
He's
still, so talented. I don't care.
He's still creating drama.
Is he?
Well, with the controversies of his concert.
Okay, hold on. Let's just touch on that for a second and then we'll get into mountains and valleys.
Oh yeah, mountains and valleys.
Okay, first, I would just like to say, full on double standard. But I'm getting on stage and letting Chris Brown grind on me, and my husband can't do the same thing with a girl. I can do it, but he can't do it, and I don't care what nobody says.
I thought you were going to say like double standards of like celebrities doing it, because
no.
Janet Jackson's been doing that for years. You know, she always brings some. Oh my gosh,
I didn't know.
She brings somebody on stage and like, you know, lap dances them. I think she actually straps them into, if you look at old like Janet Jackson concerts, she straps them into this thing and like flips them upside down and like it's like a whole thing.
Okay, honestly, if it was Janet, wouldn't care. Honestly, if it was like Beyonce, Rihanna, don't even care.
Yeah.
For some reason, like if it was someone,
who would you care about?
Like Jhené Aiko, like someone who's like an exact of me. Okay. I'd be like, no.
Okay, then she has to be like A-lister, like can never have a chance with her in life.
Exactly. Then like no.
That's funny.
You know, but like I'm sorry, I'm just because I just saw today a guy's girlfriend got pulled on stage, and he like made a public thing that he's like, we're not together anymore because she did that. I'm like,
yes.
I don't care.
I honestly,
if I'm given the opportunity for Chris Brown to pull me on stage, I am not gonna say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm going on stage.
I'm surprised the celebrities still do that. Just with like the state of the world and like everyone like suing and being so crazy. I'm really surprised that they still, because even like the girl who was recording him and he threw her phone. Yeah. It's like, you cannot trust that these people are going to do what they're supposed to do on stage. Yeah. Celebrities out there, stop doing this. Stop doing people on stage. Like, it's too unpredictable.
No. Don't stop until I get my chance.
I don't think there's anybody that I'd want to get pulled on stage with.
Mine is only Drake. Christopher Maurice.
Maybe Drake.
Oh yeah, maybe Drake.
Oh, okay.
I like BBL Drake. Have you seen that?
BBL Drake.
Have you seen the video? No.
Oh, you got BBL?
Have you seen the video where like, you know how Drake is kind of zesty?
Oh yeah.
There's like videos of him like singing like the girl parts to some of his songs and like being like spicy with it, and everyone's like, I love BBL Drake. I love BBL Drake.
Oh, so they're calling that BBL Drake, like
when he's yeah.
That's funny.
I do love Drake. Yeah,
I love Drake. Like that's probably the only person I get starstruck for.
Yeah, I think I would too. Honestly, this sounds so shady.
Him and Meryl Streep.
I feel like oh yeah,
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, she's big deal. I have never met an A-list celebrity to where I know how I'll react, so I don't know. But I will say this, knowing myself, if I met a big celebrity and I was like, oh my god, I've been attracted to them forever, or I'm a huge fan, whatever, and he was looking at me like this, all of a sudden I'm not gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm not excited.
Yeah, you'd be like, okay, most celebrities are short.
Short king.
Most are short kings.
I know. Yeah. So I don't think.
I feel like it's a requirement.
Yeah, but what is your mountain and your valley?
Okay, so I would have to say they're the same this week.
Huh?
My mountain is my hair. I'm very happy. So for those that don't know, like circa 2017-ish, I went red.
Was it like this red?
It wasn't that red. It was like this red.
Oh, okay.
Like this stuff down here. And but it was like, yeah, like a cherry. And when I lived in LA, and I loved it so much, I felt like, you know, like when you get a certain hair color, you're like, I'm never getting rid of this hair color. Like this is is my era forever. And then of course you get rid of it. So I did get rid of it, but then like I've been wondering, like, I want this back. So it's my mountain because I finally did it again, which I'm happy about. It's my valley because I feel like these pieces here are a little bit too hot. It's some stuff that has to happen. Like, you know, anyone who knows hair color knows if you have dark on your hair already, you have to do a lot of stuff to it. Yeah. So we have to go back to the drawing board. My hairstylist and I have to go back in and do a little tweak here and there because I want it even and I want it aerial so it can be ready for The Little Mermaid when it gets released.
Period. Black Mermaid. When are y'all doing it?
I don't know. Probably, like, you know, when you get bleach on, you have to just wait like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I got it done last week, so probably next week I'll probably reach out and be like, let's do this now.
But I was just thinking, will it be changed by the next episode?
Maybe. It'll just probably, these will be like more toned. Yeah. But I will say, like, with extensions in, like, I think it's okay. But when I don't have them in, I do feel like a little bit self-conscious, like,
maybe because it's like the contrast is more. The contrast,
yeah. It's like, and when your hair is not good, like, you just don't feel good.
Kills the whole vibe, which is so sad that like that much emphasis is put on, but it really makes it different.
Like, it's our crown, you know.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
And you can't say the boot braces.
That is my valley.
I know you're gonna see it. Okay.
My valley's the braces. If you don't watch the vlogs, I have been so sad for like the past 2 weeks. I literally haven't left this couch. Very sad. I was just like, how am I gonna go out with life? Like, very dramatic. And then me and Vic went on a date, and that kind of helped me get out of my funk a little bit, like a little. And then I posted like a TikTok, and then all the comments were super sweet, and that helped me get out a little. So it's like these little things happening that's helped me climb out of this hole. We were supposed to film this episode last Friday, and I was like not doing it because I was just not. I can't force the peppiness and the vibes if it's not there. For sure. But it's here today.
It's good.
I also tried a new hairstyle, which I also filmed a TikTok for.
I saw it.
And I really like it. And like you said, if you change the hair, sometimes it lights you up.
Changes your vibe.
Changes the vibes. I'm a brand new bitch. Like, let's film.
I love it.
Yeah. Yay. So that's my valley. But my mountain, I'm trying to think. I haven't really had any. I guess my mountain.
You have to have a mountain.
I know. No, it's just that I've been, for the past couple weeks, it's been so low that I haven't had a mountain. But I would say I'm going to Japan and Korea. Yeah, it won't be for a little while, but this summer I'm going to Japan and Korea with my family, so that'll be really fun. If you don't know, I'm half Japanese. I've never been to Japan. My mom, who's full Japanese, has never been to Japan. So it'll be a really fun trip. My dad and my brother have been. My dad for work, my brother he went to Japan for his honeymoon. So at least we have some people in the group that have been.
It's gonna be so fun.
I'm excited.
I wish I could go.
I know. One day we're all gonna go. This was very like, not spur of the moment, but like kind of.
Yeah. No, it's good. Like
Yeah.
YOLO. You gotta go.
I'm excited.
Let's go to the motherland.
Go to the motherland.
I love it.
I've already been to the other motherland before. I've just never
Now you've been to both motherlands.
I know, now I've been to both. But I haven't been to, we need to go to Jamaica.
Yes.
I haven't been.
I've been to that motherland.
You've been to that motherland.
Oh,
probably,
it was so fun.
You've probably been more recently than I've been.
I went in college.
Yes. Yeah. I went when I was a baby, like an infant, and then I went again when I was like 12. So I haven't been as an adult.
Yes.
So that's, I want to do
You gotta
that.
go to the show. I've been to a lot of islands, and I say by far, Jamaica's my favorite island.
Yeah.
By far.
We should go all together.
Like, I love Jamaica so much.
Because I know Trent and Vic both haven't been.
No.
Okay, we gotta go for sure.
It's so fun.
Okay, there's a couple topics before we get into the entries that I wanted. There's only two.
Okay, that's fine.
I wonder if you have any, but the two I want to discuss.
Yeah, we'll roll with yours. We'll roll with yours today.
Okay.
Because I'll get on a tangent.
I definitely want to just touch base on Vanderpump. And the other thing I want to talk about is a TikTok ban. Have you heard much about it?
I've heard about this.
It's a lot.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Let's start with Vanderpump.
Okay. This is the juiciest season that's ever happened, ever.
Ever in life. I'm Team Ariana to my core.
I'm
What?
Team.
Are you Team Tom?
I'm kind of Team Tom.
Why?
You're like,
What?
kill me. Okay, so
What
this is the reason
fuck?
I'm Team Tom.
Okay.
I don't agree with the way Tom is going about it, and I don't agree with who he's doing it with.
Okay.
But I am in agreement with do not stay places that don't serve you and you're not happy.
That's fine, but then break up.
He needs to break up. But I do understand that it's probably really hard to break up when your life is so entrenched with someone, down to like a show, businesses,
That's
everything.
not an excuse.
Even like Katie and the other Tom,
Yeah.
I feel like their existence sucks because they have to keep seeing each other
It's
because
true,
their
but-
lives are so intertwined. I
but
do
that's-
not agree with how he's going about it.
Yeah.
But I do think that he's unhappy. I think both of them are.
I think
both of them are
yeah,
unhappy.
if they're both unhappy, but like it doesn't condone. He has no excuse. Even like I saw men commenting because there was a clip where Tom was like, you know, we basically never have sex, blah blah blah.
Yes,
that is not a reason to cheat.
I don't think it's a reason to cheat, but I do think lack of intimacy for sure lets you know that the relationship is over.
Yeah, but then end the relationship. You don't go cheat, especially with somebody in the friend group.
Horrible.
One, you cheated, but two, on top of that, it's somebody that everyone in the group knows.
That's
like,
horrible. And the fact I'm really not team her because she's friends with both of them.
Team Rachel. Do you know that her real name is Rachel?
I was like, Rachel?
Everyone's calling her
Raquel.
Rachel. No, so her name is
Oh, really?
Rachel.
I did not know
For the
that.
show, she's made it Raquel to be more like.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did not know that. Well, I'm not Team Rachel at all.
I'm not Team Rachel or Team
She's
Tom.
she's shady. That's shady. Ariana probably is better off without him.
100% she's better off, but I'm Team Ariana, and even though Lala has had a past and the things she says can be like hypocritical, if she's trying to say like, well, you did this and I didn't do that, that's one thing because she did do those things.
She did do those
but
things.
she's just defending like Katie and Ariana, so I'm like, attack them, go. And also like, I'm not a huge James fan. To me, he's just pure entertainment. Like I don't like him or hate him either way. He's just like,
hashtag James off the show, please.
they won't because he's entertaining. But I do like to see, because like if you remember way back in the seasons, there's like a hair on me somewhere. You know, it's like tickling your arm.
Yeah, that's probably my hair.
Yeah, I know. For real. Oh, here it is.
There it
See
is.
it. Oh, I got it. You know how in the beginning, like he and Lala like hated Katie hated Lala and hated James, and they were fighting and like insulting each other 24/7. I love seeing that Katie and Lala are now like best friends, because I think that like you can grow and change.
Yeah,
and they were just like, I think Katie was a little insecure when Lala showed up.
For sure, because she was like really pretty, and they were, oh my god, she's gonna trade for this man. They thought that she was gonna do what Raquel did.
Exactly. But like I think
Raquel did.
both of their attacking each other was just like girls being girls, unfortunately.
Insecurity,
so I think I like to see that they're both like adult women now, and now they're friends. And I like to see that James gets along with Katie now too, who he like insulted in past seasons. But they've like grown, and like same with, I think I saw him like chatting with Sheena. I like to see like
growth.
I like to see growth, and when the underdog starts to like do better,
okay, that's fair.
I like root for them low key, even if they're like shitty. I kind of like root for them. Like, come on, like you can be a fucking better person than this.
How do you feel about people saying that it's fake? This whole situation.
I don't think it's fake because the ratings weren't bad. I don't think they needed this. I think if they were a dying show, I would be like, yeah, this could be like some PR stunt. Yes. But people were watching.
You know, people are always gonna call like fake, like, oh, it's fake. I mean, if I could like literally, you know, I was like, oh, if you can do it ever for a career, like, what would you do? I like, obviously love makeup artistry. I do that with a heartbeat, but I would be a reality show producer to like stir the pot, because all they do is stir the pot. They like, so and so said this, so what do you think about that? And then they set up and like, okay, we're gonna invite her, and her. All right, let's have a lunch.
Yeah. Honestly, I would be on a reality show.
You would?
I would be on one, but what terrifies me is like, so you might get on the show thinking, I'm gonna be like this role. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be like nice to everybody, blah, blah, blah. And then the way the producers cut it, you're the villain. But you didn't plan that, and then like now the world hates you and all this stuff. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think like you almost have to like be okay with being a villain.
Yeah,
and the one thing I do wish like society did not do as a whole is send people death threats. Like that is weird to me.
No, people are weird.
Literally, I saw like something really quickly that said like Selena Gomez is telling everyone to please stop sending death threats to Hailey Bieber, and I'm like, where do people get off? Like you're gonna literally send it. You don't even know this girl. Like that is the weirdest energy I've ever heard.
It's another topic. I just think it's so funny. Like when the bully starts being like, everyone's bullying me.
Yeah.
You started it. Like, I don't condone bullying, but like, you started it, now you can't take the heat. You shouldn't have been yapping if you didn't like people yapping back. If I know I don't like that, I'm not gonna start the fight. I think Hailey's going about it the wrong freaking way.
Yeah.
So wrong.
And now she's like, come to my rescue.
Like, that girl, could you imagine?
Yeah, that's
like
weird.
reaching out. Like if I reached out to Vic's ex to say like, please help me.
It's like, ugh. And maybe she didn't reach out. Maybe Selena's just doing this out of the kindness of her heart.
But she
because
said
she's seen
Hailey
it.
reached out to me.
Oh, that's kind of petty.
Yeah, but I mean, I think she
petty.
said that because that's what happened.
I probably would have said that. I'm like, hey guys, like I've been seeing all your stuff. I think you should stop. That's petty.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, but TikTok.
Okay, the TikTok.
So you know today that the CEO of TikTok went
in front of that board of people.
Yes, these shady ass old white people.
Beep.
They're all old. They're all old and white and just need to like get voted out. Did you see the clips?
So I've seen still shots from the clips, but I just know in my heart like none of this is gonna happen. Like nothing's gonna happen because if TikTok dies, something else is gonna pop up. So
speaking of, I already today made a profile on Clapper. Have you been hearing about it?
No, I'm.
So basically,
not a kid.
Clapper.
I'm not with the kids anymore. I don't know.
I know. I've only seen a few videos on it, but like people are starting up a Clapper profile in case TikTok gets banned.
Is Clapper the same as TikTok?
Yes.
Okay. The only thing I feel sad for is like creators like you that like put a lot of effort into the videos and have so many videos. It's like that.
So you
sucks.
have to start from it does suck because you have to start.
I mean, and they're saved on your phone, but like who wants to repurpose all of that content?
But also they're saying if they do ban it for the United States, I've already saved a video where you can you get like a VPN, you change it, the location, and you're good to still use it. So I think it's fine.
I'm always interested in like the next thing. I think it's so interesting because like being a millennial, I've literally seen computers go from like fatbacks to like our phone.
Go from
pretty
Oregon
much.
Trails to TikTok.
Literally.
But everyone's saying like if they ban TikTok, we're not all gonna like revamp IG. We quit.
No.
We quit IG. We're done. Facebook, already dead and buried. I just think all these people in the US government are focused on the wrong things. Y'all are focused about TikTok when there's public shootings every other freaking day, and y'all are focused on pronouns when our education system sucks. Like there's so many other things, and I just feel like I
didn't even watch it. I was like, I don't even want to waste my time on this because I just know it's like, because you remember they said this was going to happen a while ago. Yeah. And I was like, it never did. It never did. It never did.
So shocked the way that these grown people were treating the CEO. They'd be like, so does the Chinese government own it? And he'll be like, no. And they're like, you didn't answer the question, so we're gonna move on. Like cutting him off. One woman even said, he said like no and explained, and she goes, that sounds like a yes, and just like moved on. I was like, he literally just told you no and gave you proof, and you said that sounds like a yes to me, and just skipped to the next question. Oh my god! You would die if I
need to watch it. I'm sure it's on TikTok all over the place.
Yes, and they were mad that like their whole thing they're trying to press is like TikTok influences kids. Kids. And he was saying, like, we have things in place on TikTok, which I didn't even know this because I'm not a kid. But, like, after 60 minutes, if it says you're under 18, it doesn't let you, like, go past the 60 minutes being on there. Wow. If someone types in something worrisome, like, oh, I'm thinking about, like, or something, it directs you to a safety page. Like things like that. So there's things in, right?
What happened to being a parent, though? And why are these people giving their kids a phone?
That's what we were saying. They kept asking him, well, what about this with teens? And what about this with teens? And everyone was commenting. He was being very respectful. But people commenting on the videos were like, how about you're the parent and you monitor how much your kid is on there? It's not up to the CEO of TikTok to decide what your kid sees and doesn't see. That's you. And they're so mad at TikTok when I'm like, okay, you take TikTok away. There's still the whole freaking internet. Yeah. Are you mad at the internet? Are you mad at Google? Are you mad at... No, they're just mad at TikTok because it's influenced kids to, like, stand up and speak up and, like, fight for, you know, rights and things. They're, like, mad about it, so...
People just need to be freaking parents.
That's enough tea for today.
And that's a lot of tea.
A lot of tea.
Okay, so this is entitled Discussion Topic for a Podcast Episode.
Okay. Yeah, we did ask if you guys had any specific things you wanted us to talk about. You can write in about that, and it has nothing to do with, like, details of your life if you don't want to share that.
Yes.
And we'll discuss whatever topic.
Hers is still personal, though. I think she just, like, put it on there, like, oh, this is just a topic that I want discussed.
Okay, cool. Period. Let's go.
All right. So this says, hi, Leah. I've been loving your 2 cents with Tosh series, and now that you and Tori are taking requests for discussion topics in addition to giving advice, I figured I'd write in. I'd love if you and Tori could share your thoughts on marriage and share your personal experience on why you chose to get married, when you felt the time was right, and how your relationship has changed since getting married. I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years now, and we've lived together for 2.5 of those. We occasionally have the normal kind of tiffs where one person might be annoyed, but we always talk through things within a few hours. And no one ever gets really heated or angry. I feel it's a really healthy dynamic. We are really happy together, and we're relatively young. He just turned 26 and I don't turn 25 until the end of the summer. A part of me craves the stability and commitment of marriage with promise, but I also don't want to jump into things too fast if there's no pressing reason to get married. My boyfriend says he would want to marry me in the future, but comes from a family where divorce is not accepted. So understandably, he would probably want to wait several more years, however long it takes him to feel super sure that he's ready. But does anyone ever feel 100% ready? And should they feel 100% ready before getting married? The way I see it, nothing in the future is guaranteed, and while I have complete faith that we have a great marriage because we're both best friends, I also worry about if one or more of us changes in the future and we grow apart. Am I overthinking things? I'd love to know your thoughts on the topic.
I actually do have many pieces of advice for this.
You start. You're married.
Okay, so why did you choose to get married when you felt the time was right, and how was your relationship, how has it changed since getting married? Marriage, in my opinion, should not change after you get married. There's no reason for it to change. I feel like that's such an... It's so hard for me to talk. That's such an ancient saying, is that, like, the first year of marriage is the hardest. That's because back in the day, people didn't date as long. Like, it was not acceptable to date someone for 10 years and not get married. Right. And also, people didn't live together first back then. Nowadays, people date for longer. If they don't, they at least usually live together. And that's why the first year was the hardest, because when you move in with somebody, you start to see those things that annoy you, or like things that bother you, or if you guys are compatible with your lifestyles, and, you know, one person wakes up early and one person doesn't, and one person's messy and one person's not. All that used to be the first year of marriage. Now it's usually not. So if you live together first and all of that, marriage should not change. Like, you get married and nothing changes. Like, your life's literally the same. I think that we get so set on, like, the age that you should get married. And this is from my experience. The time that we got married, I was 28 and Vic was 27. And we got engaged when I was 27 and he was 26. At the time, I was like, come on. Like, we're so old. We're almost 30. I'm almost 30, which is, like, so old for a woman, blah, 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 blah. Now that I'm 32, almost 33, I can say now, and I tell Vic this all the time, I say we were so young. Okay, at 28, I felt like I was ready or whatever, but the fact that Vic is a year younger than me and men just mature so much slower than women, I was like, the fact that I got you to propose to me at 27 is so crazy. When I think about it now, after the fact, I'm like, why was I pressuring this man? Why was I pressuring this man? He was an infant. He was a fetus. Like, 27 is so young for a man. And 28 is young for a woman. Like, I don't know why, but we were still in that time, like, low-key, going back to TikTok and social media, I feel like we've all been educated that like you don't have to be under 30 to have a career, or under 30 to be successful, or under 30 to find a partner and get married and have kids. Like you can do all of that in your 30s, in your 40s, whatever. At the time, I still had that mindset that like, I need to get all this stuff done before I'm 30. And now looking back, being in my 30s, I'm like, we did not have to get married. Like we could have just kept dating. Like what the hell? Like looking back now, I'm like, that's young. So y'all being 25 and 26, I think y'all don't need to rush anything. That's so young. That is so young. 25, girl.
I think it's interesting, like, so for y'all who probably know, because I say it all the time, I'm a bridal makeup artist.
Yeah.
Like, I do it every weekend. And I see...
How old are your brides?
I was going to tell you.
Okay.
I see a lot of brides. The ages are all over the place. I had a bridal trial today. She was over 40. My bride tomorrow...
Today, and it was her first marriage.
First marriage. My bride tomorrow is in her mid-20s. I've had brides that are 19, 20, 21. I've had, I think most of my brides I say on the older side have been in their 40s. I would say most of my brides, it's all their first marriages. Yeah. Because usually second marriages, people don't really splurge on like all the things and like makeup artists and stuff. But sometimes they do. But most of the time these are all first marriages. And I just feel like there is no age.
There is no age.
Like it needs to be when the time is right.
Yes. And that goes into the other things you were discussing. Divorce is not accepted, which I get that. So if he needs more time to be sure, like that's fine. He's only 26. That's super young.
And this is the thing about divorce. I know people think divorce is taboo, but I personally am just a firm believer with marriage. Like specifically, my mom tells me this all the time. She's like, the person you marry is not the same person 5, 10, 20, 30, 35 years later. And if you guys cannot grow together, if you guys cannot let each other be each other, sometimes divorce is an option. You're a different person and you don't know if you're gonna like that next person, that next phase, and that's okay.
And I think too, we get in this whole thing, like society is like, obviously you're not the same person when you're 30 as you were when you were 17. Okay? But that is acceptable in society because it's saying you were a teenager and now you're an adult. There's nothing in the rule book that says you can't be an adult and then change and be another adult.
Yes.
Like they think that once you become an adult and like your brain has developed, that you're never gonna change.
Right.
There's no telling. Someone can develop bad habits as an adult.
Right.
That's not just a teenage thing. So it's like you saying that, you know, you want to make sure and like, are you 100% sure? Like you said, in a marriage, you have to stand by this person through their different phases and the person that they become. So especially y'all being in your early 20s, you're both, I guarantee 100% without a doubt in my mind, you're both going to change between now and 30.
1,000%.
Because I can tell you right now, being 32, at 25, I was not the same person that I am now. No. At all. Mentally, emotionally, none of that. So
for better or for worse.
That's why people do vow renewals, is because you're recommitting yourself to 2 new versions of both people that you are now, that you weren't when you first got married. There was something I wanted to say to touch on that. I'm trying to blank now.
I will say, like, being 34. Oh, go ahead, so you don't lose your thought.
So I don't lose it.
Yeah.
A huge thing I learned, and I also saw a TikTok about it, but after I already, like, this was already my mindset. This is another reason why I love TikTok. You, like, have, I'm sorry. You have a mindset or, like, a belief, and you think it might be, like, out of the norm or weird, but when you hear other people on the same page as you, you're like a little bit validated, like, I know I'm not crazy. Before you get married, usually you've had other relationships, right? Some good, some bad, whatever, very Shakespeare, some very like not deep at all, right? All kinds. And when you're young, you think that like you're out there to find the love of your life, okay? And I get that, but I will tell you this, marriage is more than love. You can love somebody, but y'all aren't gonna be good together. I have lots of friends in this same situation who have a love, you know, that passionate love from when they were younger, and they can't let it go, or it goes back and forth, and it's been 10 years of them going back and forth. And maybe they are in love with each other. Maybe they do love each other, but they're never gonna work because they're not good together. So love obviously is a huge part of marriage. You have to love the other person, be in love with the other person. But love is not going to make your marriage survive. I'm so sorry. Shakespeare lied. Love is just part of it. If you have love, but you don't have respect, loyalty, communication, faith in each other, all of that stuff, the love is not going to hold y'all together. Not only respect, be loyal, not cheat, and love each other, but you also have to be able to live with each other's good and bad sides. You have to be able to get through hard times together, believing in the other person, being able to be supportive of another person. All those things go into marriage. Love is not going to carry you through marriage. That's something I've learned. To me, respect is higher than love.
To me, I have this theory, it's the love, like, respect. Love, like, respect. I think you need those three things. Like is more important to me than those. Because when you like someone, you like to be around them. That's your friend. You like them. You don't want to treat them mean. You want to treat them good. A lot of relationships lack like. They have love, they have respect, they don't like each other.
They have love, but they don't even like each other.
Yep. It's different. Like is like that, ooh, I want to text you. Ooh, I want to like show you something. Ooh, I can't wait to talk to you. When that goes, that's even worse than the love or the respect.
Yeah, because you think about it, love is like, you can love somebody and you can be in love with somebody. Those are two different things. And same thing, people who like love their parents but cut them off and don't speak to them anymore, that doesn't mean they don't love them, but they might not like their parents. They don't like them. So yeah, you have to have all these different components. So if you have all that, then I would say you guys are in a good space. You don't need to rush. You got plenty of time. If your relationship's going great, which it sounds like it is.
Yeah, wait till you're both ready.
Just wait till you're both ready. One more thing though, you said, does anyone ever feel 100% ready to get married before they're married? And I would say it differs. I can't speak for men. They might feel a little scared because they have to like provide and whatnot, or whatever their mindset is about being a provider or like the leader of the household or whatever.
I still think their mindset should be that they're ready though. Like they should be like, even if they have to be a provider, they should feel like I have the tools to do what I need to do to make this happen.
And that doesn't mean they can't be nervous or afraid. They could be nervous and afraid just because they care enough to like want to make sure they, you know, do whatever you need them to do. No one should be forced.
No, they should not be like at the altar, like in their groom suite, like in their, people have to pep talk them like, you got a good girl, like you got to do this, or and he's like, oh, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, he should not be up there like, she's making me do this. That's my advice on that. I'm excited.
It's a story entry. Hello, Leah and Tori. You can see my name in the email, but I go by Natalie. Okay, Natalie's your name.
Okay.
First, I'm happy that Tori is permanently a part of this, and I wanted her insight and opinion as well. Not that Leah isn't enough, she is enough. Just always great to get multiple perspectives. Anyway, I'm debating if I should send in a story. Maybe it's not entertaining enough or too long. Girl, just send the story.
Yeah.
Leah did respond to my comment and told me to send it, so I had to. Okay. I started working at a sub shop called, we're gonna change the sub shop. Okay. I'm gonna say it's Potbellies.
Okay.
I feel like it's okay to say the name of it because it's a franchise owner or whatever. Okay, you can change it to say sub shop. Okay, we'll just say sub shop.
Okay.
And this particular owner I worked for, in my opinion, is an entitled narcissist. Big words, but not a lot of reasons of why I believe so. I started March 2021, got laid off from the bakery shop I actually loved due to COVID. Living in San Diego with no family, I had to get a job quick, and when I got this job interview, I was excited as I loved eating at this place. Why not work there? Yeah, never a reason to work a job. Sometimes. The interview wasn't even a normal interview or one at all. The owner does all the interviews, and he said he was 45 minutes late, but hey, I needed the job. Let's call him Kyle. Now, Kyle's a middle-aged white man owning several stores, dressed as a Mormon, okay? I believe in God, but I've never been religious, and that's for another story involving my family. Fine. So Kyle started with religion and talking about Jesus, and he sat me on a bench and started writing on index cards, "Joy is Jesus, others, then you."
Wait, I'm sorry. This is the manager?
This is the owner, Kyle.
Or the owner of the shop?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was just so corny and very weird to interview someone and talk about God and his pillars.
This was in the interview?
This was for the interview. I applied for the manager as I had prior experience, and it's entry level, starting at minimum wage. Then at 3 to 4 months, you move up and earn $1 more an hour. In my head, I don't want the job, but I need it, so I had to take it. When I got hired, I started working at a store that wasn't that close to my house or where I interviewed, but 19 miles further away. Again, needed a job, so I made the commute. You can see all the red flags like I did, but I was desperate for money to pay my bills. Fast forward, she's been working there for 2 years now. Fast forward to last January 2023. Kyle isn't as nice as he used to be. I had to change my schedule in early 2022 to take care of my grandma, who was not in the best shape. I needed to be off by 4 or 5, and it was absolutely no problem then, but Kyle wants me to over communicate with him and tell him everything that's happened in the store. So while I'm busy on the line, I have to step aside and update the owner on what's going on. He doesn't do this with just me, but everyone. So basically everyone becomes a snitch, and we know people love to exaggerate the truth to get ahead. I wasn't one of those. I never felt comfortable with people who want to work with someone that tells the boss everything. Especially tell him something that has affected our customers or some serious like assault or racism. He wanted detailed reports after every shift. Mind you, I'm only getting paid $15 an hour, minimum wage California, plus tips, the tips that I earn. He would text me at 5 a.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m. whatever time he was available, he'd contact you if he needed. Again, not a call, just a minimum wage worker. I would rack in 40 hours a week, then having Kyle text me on group text with other managers, do you want to get off part-time? He was really saying I'm part-time even with 40 hours a week, because he schedules other people 60 to 80 hours a week. So he was saying that 40 hours was part-time for him. These shifts were crazy, like 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'd be in his shop like all damn day. He was physically and mentally exhausting, as I did in my first 8 months. Kyle knows that I helped my grandma, but doesn't care. I was laid off January 5th, 2023. And I was never scheduled for the next day, as I'm waiting for it to be texted to me. This job, we get our schedules daily, meaning I get my shift the day before, and I don't know what my shift will be the next day.
I could not live like that.
They'll update the schedule at 10 p.m. at night, and then I won't see it, and I'll get in trouble. I mean, it's just a wild way to run a business. This man thinks he's perfect and runs his business perfectly. Honestly, there's so much to say, but it's already long. I was never told I was fired. The owner actually ignored me, and he sent his bitch boys to do the work. I was looking for my last pay stub, and as the last check, it didn't add up. It seemed way less than it should be. I had at least 4 shifts on that pay period. It looks like only 1 is accounted for. For now, I'm in correspondence with him. We'll call him Brad. He's apparently HR, and he's 23. Okay, I see he's 23. Okay. He's younger than me and telling me I won't receive a pay stub, as I was given a manual check. I went back and forth with him for a month, and when he didn't respond, I tried to reach out to corporate, but they're hard to find. So I found an area director in the city I live in, and she owns multiple sub shops in the country as well. She never responded. But I got a text from the actual HR. He works at home, an old man that should retire.
Oh my God.
Got even more frustrating. He was trying to tell me the same thing Brad did, and that I won't be receiving a pay stub. Again, and I don't care if this is California law to give someone proof of hours. They just gave me a check and nothing else, like I work under the table. While I was in communication with HR, the owner Kyle called me. The man for a month has ignored me and never rescheduled my calls. I answer, and this guy tries to be nice and says, "Good morning." I apply with a stern "morning," and he says, "How are you?" And mind you, his voice is so condescending and just fake. I cut him off and said, "I'm not here to talk to you and tell you how my day is. I want my pay stub." He says, "We will give you a written check." And I said, "I understand that, but I need proof of hours." He says, "No, you're not understanding." As soon as he said that, I cut him off again, and I said, "No, you're not understanding. I need a pay stub or something that shows my hours worked, wage paid, period, start and end date. I don't care that it's a manual check. I need proof of hours." Kyle responds with a chuckle and says, "We just wanted to give you your money as soon as I could. The check was dated for 1/6/2023. They barely waited a day before sending my last check. It's not hard to send 4 shifts of proof of hours."
Yeah.
So what's so sketchy to me was because why is it so difficult? I ended up hanging up on Kyle as he said, "I've been nothing but nice to you." I cut him off again and laughed and said, "No, you haven't. If you think that, you can take your pride and run along." This man has no pride and tells people ego and pride aren't good qualities, yet look at this man. HR got back to me, and I'll provide the whole combo because it's so back and forth, it's just loony. After all I worked so hard for that job, overworked, underpaid, working in a male-only environment, I was again physically and mentally draining. I mean, I've dealt with comments about my weight, called Barbie, always joked on I always gave them the same energy back and said nothing at all. It's just a trend with men working there, toxic masculine energy that drove me insane. Almost 2 years and I can count how many women I've seen in uniform on one hand. Pretty pathetic. At the end of the day, I find out that they're shorting me $257. They completely took 2 of my shifts off. They were my last 2. They were terrible too because after I got off, I was being blasted in a group text by Kyle, showing me the reports from coworkers that aren't even accurate, and I was sobbing, crying for hours as I didn't understand where all this was coming from. I just didn't want to be manager, didn't have the time to give, and just came back, just wanted to come to work and do my job. It wasn't enough for the owner, so he did everything he could to get me out. I mean, he never fired me because he can't, but legally you can take someone off the schedule, which is what he did, hoping I would quit. I didn't and just filed for unemployment, and I already have a new job. It's all these screenshots of like all this.
Kyle acting a fool.
Kyle acting a fool.
Wait,
in
what
HR.
was the? You don't have to say it out loud, but what was the real place?
It was yeah.
That's crazy.
So, okay, let me see what. Sorry so long. I wouldn't blame you if you skipped this story. I just needed to get this out. I don't know how you guys personally, but I've always loved you, Leah. Been a subscriber for so long, and I just trust and admire both of your opinions. That's
sometimes
funny.
you just gotta vent it out.
Sometimes you gotta get it out.
You're better than me because
we've both been at shitty jobs.
We've both been at shitty jobs, but I will say, like, did it sound like to you that hers was shitty from start to end?
Yes, from the interview.
From the interview. I've never had a job that sucked from the jump. Like, they all had hope, you know what I mean? And then like slowly have you?
Yes, when I worked at that spa momentarily.
Oh yes.
That was actually a really similar situation to this, down to like not being paid for the end of my
and like a weird interview and not red flags at the interview already.
Yep, and just never being paid for like the last couple days you worked.
That
happens a lot. I think it happens a lot with like single owner type places that are not like corporate, and obviously that was corporately run, but it was still a single owner franchise. Like, it happens.
I cannot imagine. Well, you didn't say how long were you there?
I was only there for like 4 months.
Yeah, because like that's why I say she's better than me. It could not. As soon as something gets sour, I can maybe say like, how long did I stay at my jobs that I hated? I mean, I can hold out for a while because
especially when you need the money.
Because you need the money. You're like, I need this job. Yes. Like finding another job is even hard. It's like in your head, when you have a job you hate, it's discouraging to find a new job because it could just be another job you hate. So you might as well stay at the one you already hate.
Right. You know. You already
know what to do. You already know, like, you can kind of like go there and leave or whatever. But that's a long time.
That's a long time.
I'm glad you have a new job. Yes. I hope it's way better. Oh my god. It really
staying at jobs that you don't like sucks. I just have to say.
And you know what?
It does.
You know what?
It like sucks the life out of you.
Some, generations above think like we don't want to work and blah blah blah, and that we don't want to have the discipline to like hold the job and do the job. It's never the job. It's the people.
Sometimes
sometimes, like, obviously some jobs aren't like anybody's dream job, right? But like all the jobs I've hated, I didn't love the job itself, but I could do it. Like, I can do it. It's the people that make it 80 million times worse that you like cannot stand to be around.
For sure. A lot of times, like, a bad job but great people can make you stay. Like, I feel like when I worked at the salon when I first moved to LA, I loved those people.
It's the people.
We had crappy managers throughout a lot of it. But the stylist and the other people at the front desk, like, we would hang out. Like, I loved those people. Like, they were my first family in LA. So I get it.
That's my salon experience too. Yeah. Management at all levels. Owner, HR person, managers of each location, all horrible.
Bad.
But the people I worked with on a daily basis were the ones that like kept me going. And like still hang out with them to this day, and I haven't worked there for years. Like,
I don't know, why are salons like that? That's
I don't know.
For sure. Well,
I'm just glad you vented it out.
Yeah, I'm glad you wrote in.
We're glad you wrote in. You might not even want our advice or need it because obviously you've moved on to a new situation and everything, but sometimes you just gotta get it out. That one is intriguing me. I just don't know where it's gonna go.
It is entitled. I won't even say the title.
No, say the title.
Okay, I'm gonna say the title. Two Guys and Confused.
It happens. Have you been in a two guys and confused situation?
Yes.
Same.
Good problem to have.
I have been more than once. I will say I've been in
It's a great problem to have. Okay. Hello, ladies. Love this series. Should turn it into a podcast. I'd love to listen on the go.
We are going to work on that. I've been dragging my feet. I'm not even gonna lie.
We've been talking about it. we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
You can still listen to it on the go. You can just like put us in your little holster and like don't look at the screen. Just listen.
And now, side note, you know before you couldn't like open another app while you're on YouTube, it would pause it. It plays it now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Work. I thought you'd like pay for that.
I don't pay.
Oh. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my dilemma. I currently started dating after a really horrible situation. I gave myself some time to heal and focus on me. Now I'm focused on dating with a purpose. I downloaded a dating app and connected with 2 guys I've been dating. The first guy, whose name is, we'll say Greg. With Greg, we hit it off great vibes. Greg's a little older, only by a few years, has a daughter, has his own home, is dating with a purpose as well. I do think we have good conversations. Dates are only initiated if I mention it.
That's one of your biggest pet peeves.
I like certain things about him. He's been real respectful, but something about him I can't put my finger on as to why I'm uncertain about him. The second guy, we'll call him Philip.
Okay.
Is also great. He is a couple of years older, has his own place, is also dating with purpose. He is taking initiative on asking me out. I do have to pick the spots, but he does pay, open doors, meets me where I'm at, even if I offer a middle point. We live an hour apart. We have great conversation and have talked about serious subjects. It's the little things, that Philip does that I've noticed that makes me smitten. I've never dated 2 guys at once and neither know about each other. When I do tell them about one another, when do I tell them about one another, and should I wait till one makes me more serious? Also, sex has not been initiated, just kisses. I've dated both men equal amounts of dates, but Philip really seemed to put in more effort in seeing me. We'll see each other again before he's off to vacation. No one has asked me out for Valentine's Day yet. This is a little older. She asked Philip on a recent date who his Valentine is.
Oh, okay.
Got it. And he said it would have been me, but he's traveling out of the country. I know it's childish, but geesh, I love a good Valentine's Day. By the way, I'm 32 years old, trying to switch it up and find someone to do life with. Sorry if this is long. Keep it up, ladies. Love these videos so much. So the question is, should she tell them that she's dating the other one?
My opinion is yes. If you're just dating and you're not exclusive with either, you can be honest and upfront that you are dating. Like you're dating other people. I feel like that's normal, right? When you're dating?
I have a different opinion.
Okay, tell me.
My opinion is no. My opinion is you don't have to tell them anything.
I agree you don't have to tell them anything. Like, you're not obligated to. You're a single woman.
You just
live
assume.
your life.
They should assume that you're dating.
Yeah. I think just for me personally,
you mean if they ask?
If they ask, I'm telling.
Okay.
Yeah, but also sure. Sometimes, I'm a little like, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm strategic and sneaky, right? So if I feel like one of them is like, not trying that hard, I will tell them on purpose that I'm dating other people, and that'll make or break it. They'll either say they fall off and that's the answer I needed, or they'll be like, oh, and like buck up a little.
Yes.
And like try harder.
Got it.
So I would do it as a strategic thing, not as just to let you know.
Got it.
Knowing me.
I'm like a game player in the sense of like, like they know that I'm dating other people because when they ask me out, I'm just not available that day.
Yeah.
And they're just like, Saturday night. And
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not available.
And then if
you
they ask,
why.
like if they ask, like, oh, I have the plans, I'm going out. Or if they don't ask, they can just assume. But I will say, this is not one of your questions, but I think that you should drop Greg.
Okay, why are we're connected, sister? Because
yeah,
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that stood out to me as a woman, she said she can't put her finger on it, but something that right there, that's called your instinct.
Yeah.
Go with that.
He's off.
If there's a little bit off and you don't know what it is, don't find out.
Yeah.
Chop it. It sounds like this other guy is more, you said it's the little things with him, and that's big in a relationship, like the little things.
Yes.
I would lean towards Philip more.
Yeah. I feel like Greg, especially with the non-initiation, I'm just the one that like, I don't initiate anything when I'm dating.
Yeah.
I don't ask for dates. I don't do anything. If they don't suggest it, we will never see each other.
Yeah.
I don't text. I don't call. Nothing. Because you can never gauge a man's interest if you initiate.
Because as soon as you read that part too, and I
got the ick right when I read it.
I know you did. Yeah. And coming from me, who's like complete opposite, I'll initiate anything, but I initiate a little too much. But I will say though, when you read it, I instantly felt like in my head, he's also dating other people. Because if he's not initiating with you strong, like repetitively and like consistently, to me that means, okay, he's also dating other people where he's not initiating with you all the time because he has to initiate multiple people. So he's like
never initiates with her.
Yeah, that's also an ick.
But that's an ick. Like, I feel like my boyfriend was dating other people. Like, we both were when we first started dating. But he still initiated. Like, he would just have multiple dates lined up for different days. But like,
but for me,
maybe.
If he's not initiating, to me that says
that's weird.
He's too busy like with other people. So I'm like, okay, if you're not initiating.
And even if it's not even other people, like you said he had a daughter, like that's fine. Like if he's too busy to initiate, period, that just means he's too busy for what you want. Not even a relationship, just to date, he's too busy. So bye.
That part, and also that contradicted when by him never initiating, but him telling you he's dating with a purpose. That don't line up. That doesn't line up.
Like, I get it. Like, you may not want to kick him off the roster yet because you want this duality of multiple dates. I get it. Because I like sometimes if you kick one person, if you have two, you kick one off, you're going to focus too much on one. So you want to make sure you have 2 or 3 or whatever, but just get somebody else on the roster. The one thing about Philip too that kind of gave me an ick, I'm just being honest.
I didn't get
about the Valentine's Day thing.
Oh,
he was like, you would be my Valentine if I wasn't going out of town.
You could still be the Valentine,
right? Like, you not being here has nothing to do with me not being your Valentine.
Like, is it a cop out?
I just feel like
it kind of sounds like
it can still be. You can still be my Valentine. You can still give me a Prezi. We can still do dinner when you get back. It's a lot of things.
Out of town or not, he could have sent you a card. He could have sent you flowers.
You can have flowers ready to send on that day.
An edible arrangement
before you leave town. It's pre-scheduled.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, we're way after Valentine's Day, so we don't know what happened.
Okay, let us know. Update us. What happened for Valentine's Day?
And are they both on the roster?
Are they both on the roster? Are they both off the roster?
Are there new daddies on the roster?
Let us know.
I'm interested in that. Thank
We're
you.
Both dating through you. Okay, real quick before we move on. When was your two dudes? I'm confused. When was that?
I did it once in college.
Same.
And then once when I was dating Trent, but it wasn't because I was confused.
Okay.
I am one that puts all my eggs in one little basket because I don't like people ever. If I like you, I really like you. I decided to do an exercise in not putting my eggs all in one basket and actually dating at the ripe old age of 33. So I did. So I continued to field dates. They were not as good as my boyfriend, of course, but I still fielded them and I still went out and I still did all these things because I felt like I needed to. And some of them got to second, third date. Some just got to one. But I continued through the whole process until we became official.
Yeah. No, you did. You did really, yes. You did
and I've
really
never
well.
done that before in my life ever until I was 33. I've never dated multiple people ever. I always start talking to somebody, like them, locked in.
I use the term dating loosely. Because in my brain, I don't think I've really dated multiple people at once. Like gone on dates with multiple people at once. I was sleeping with multiple people and talk like we were talking and sleeping together, but we weren't going on dates.
I guess I would have to say my college one was talking. Like we weren't
going on dates.
I mean, dating is going out, hanging out. That one was actually shady too.
Oh, mine was shady.
It was definitely shady.
I was getting even is what I was doing.
It was super
and it worked out in my favor. Made the odds of it wasn't my favor.
It was definitely my favor.
Yeah.
Because I was getting attention from both people that I wanted attention from.
Same.
And I didn't care that they would ever, I mean, I didn't want them to find out, but I liked getting the attention from both.
Did they find out?
Eventually.
Did they?
Yeah.
How did you know that they found out? They told you?
Yeah, they told me.
Yeah, mine found out.
But we were grown when I.
Mine found out too, but I wanted them to find out because I was doing it with a purpose.
Oh, this was revenge.
This was revenge. I was getting revenge, and I definitely got it. I feel like as a woman, you're never gonna go through life not having the situation she was just in. You're always gonna have two men confused at one point in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I always feel even with both of them, it's always one that just is a little bit more. One that you like more. The other one you're passing the time with, but one you're I like him a little more. All right. Yeah,
I think we're going to have to end this episode here because though the last episode was quite long, I don't want them all to be super long like that. But we are back rolling, so we're gonna start pumping them out. I don't think we have enough entries consistently for us to just do weekly ones because at some point, right now we probably could, but then we'll run out. I'm gonna try to at this point where we're all at, you know, us and y'all together as a group, I'm gonna upload one every other week. Vlogs every week, but these in addition every other week. Okay? We still have to take photos. And now I have the braces. We should have done it before I got the braces. And at some point I will figure out the podcast stuff.
Yeah, I think there's gonna start like doing some podcasting on YouTube too. I heard.
Wait, what?
One of my best friends sent me something.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. We appreciate it so much. Again, all the information you need is in the description box. We have all of our socials here, so follow us, and we'll see you guys in the next video. All right. Bye. Apologies. Holding back, I got history.